Are you inclined to tell me, on the same day, that not only this is happening, but this is happening? If this movie wasn't stacked enough, bro, like, I don't know how I feel. I'm very conflicted. On one hand, I'm like, well, so much for Peter Parker not having his own solo film, but on the other hand, yes! On the same day, mind you, like, if this movie wasn't already my most anticipated movie of the future, then I don't know what is, because why are you stacking this cast too much? Well, so much for a solo movie, Tom. I think I know the real reason why Punisher's in this movie, aside from whatever they're planning to do with him in the story. It's because Tom and John not only have worked together, but is very consistent about it. It was called Pilgrimage or something. Like, that was a few years ago. And then now, not only they're going to be in this movie, but on the same year Spider-Man 4 is coming out, they're currently working on, or I don't know if they're finishing, freaking the Odyssey movie with Christopher Nolan. So, like, it's all about the timing at this point, and I won't be surprised if the whole reason John and Tom were talking in the movie were like, I can imagine them in the set be like,
congrats on board again, bro.
That's nice.
If only we could work together. What if we work together in the movie, right?
Can we make it happen?
Now, one of the first things I thought when this news came out, I think one of the first things I thought of was, yep, Willie is definitely a post-credit scene.
I love New York.
And I knew people were gonna be like, well, what about the whole rights thing that people like, we can't do that. Okay, I believe you. But knowing how Marvel, and even Sony to an extent, like to pull off some random, very unlikely surprises, this is definitely possible. It's not probable, but definitely possible. They just like to throw us off into like, oh wait, I didn't think it was gonna happen. Whoa, what? I am now 50 to 60% sure Wilson Fisk is a post-credit scene. There are two post-credit scenes in that movie that are definitely happening. One is gonna be the Road to Secret Wars, or Doomsday, or whatever. Okay, and then the other one has got to be something either Wilson Fisk or some other setup for a Spider-Man character, and I'm betting it's something either Black Cat, if not Wilson Fisk. Over the last many hours that this news has happened, I've started to really accept more of the fact that Peter will never have his own movie. Like, and I know that sucks, but like at the same time, I don't hate it. Like, I can't compel myself to hate it. I'm annoyed, but I've gone to accept it after all these years. Okay, this is basically Spider-Man Homecoming, but Peter Parker is more Spider-Man-y himself. So I guess if Homecoming is great, then this is be more fun. And yep, I'm going to cry of nerd tears. Like we're doing the same thing No Way Home had, where now people are memeing. They're gonna meme this movie of like everybody's gonna show up from the Iron Giant to Godzilla. Oh, the Iron Giant's gonna be in this movie. If that news wasn't enough, earlier yesterday, apparently we found out what I feel like is Marvel is basically confirming Spider-Man 98. Now, the real news was that Spider-Man 94 is going to have a comic, basically written by James D. Mateus, a very notable writer from the 90s, such as he wrote the death of Harry Osborn Green Goblin, he wrote the death of Aunt May, if you know what I mean, but the death of Aunt May from Amazing Spider-Man 400, very notable for this run. And he's going to write a 4-issue miniseries on like basically fill in the gaps of how MJ is and the whole basically plot at the end of the show. At first I'm like, well, that means Spider-Man 98 isn't happening because why would they do a comic? And then shortly after I realized, wait, Marvel Comics and DC too, but Marvel Comics don't do things like this or tease certain things or make more characters more important unless something will happen to them in the movie or TV division, which means if anything Spider-Man 98 is more likely to happen now. Like it's more possible because why would they do it? Because X-Men 97 had literally a comic book run throughout the shows happening. Like as the show was happening, there was another comic that's supposedly in that same universe, but with different adventures, like filling gaps and stuff. So maybe this is an inevitable, like, tell me Spider-Man 98 isn't happening without telling me Spider-Man 98 is happening. The comic book. Until they are ready to announce the show, here's the comic. But that means if the sole purpose of the comic is going to answer the Mary Jane question, that means during Spider-Man 98, they're going to skip all that. Maybe they'll tell you in like a montage or tell you like a scene, like a flashback, but like that's not going to be the point of the show. Spider-Man 98 is simply just like X-Men 97. MJ and Peter back together, and now we just jump to whatever next adventure, which is really great. I don't know if I'm going to read that, but I hope you guys like it, so I hope it's great. The comic's coming out September, but the movie next year, which means Spider-Man 98 could come out late 2027 or 2028. Like, that's like the years that Spider-Man 98 could likely happen. Supposedly, since X-Men 97 Season 2 and 3 are happening, and there's no news of that yet, so Have a great day, guys. Spider-Man.